Words, they cut, they heal, they build, and they break. But here's the truth. Some people throw words like knives, hoping you'll bleed. Some think they can say whatever they want, walk away, and expect you to forget. But you won't. You don't. Because words have weight. And today I want you to understand something. If someone disrespects you with their words, it's time they feel the weight of what they've said. It's time they learn that you are not the kind of woman who takes their words lightly. You are the storm, not the silence. You are the force, not the shadow. And after today, they will never speak to you the same way again. Your silence is not weakness. It is power wrapped in patience. It is the pause that forces them to listen. The void that makes them uncomfortable. The absence that speaks louder than any word ever could. Some people think they can say anything, disrespect you, mock you, and walk away as if their words will simply dissolve into thin air. They believe that because you didn't respond, you accepted it. But what they don't realize is that silence is not surrender, silence is strategy. And when you use it right, it is deafening. Imagine this. You're in an argument with someone who is determined to break you down. They throw words like daggers, expecting you to fight back, expecting you to react. But instead of yelling, instead of explaining yourself, you pause. You look them in the eye and you give them nothing. That moment of silence is unbearable for them. Why? Because they thrive on your reaction. They want to know they have control over your emotions. The moment you deny them that satisfaction, they start to feel the weight of their own words. When someone throws negativity at you, they expect you to absorb it. They expect you to take their words, their attitude, their disrespect, and carry it like baggage. But here's what they don't see coming. You're not a sponge, you're a mirror. Whatever they throw at you, you reflect it right back. Not with anger, not with emotion, but with precision. They need to feel the weight of their own energy. They need to taste the poison they serve. Imagine this. Someone comes at you with sarcasm, trying to undermine you in a group conversation. They throw a sly comment, a subtle insult, something designed to make you feel small. Most people either get defensive or laugh it off awkwardly. Not you. You simply tilt your head, look them dead in the eyes, and say with a smirk, "Oh, you must be talking about yourself." Now watch the shift. Watch them stutter. Watch them scramble for control, because they didn't expect you to return their energy with such calm confidence. People are used to getting away with throwing negativity at others because most people either react emotionally or shrink under pressure. But the moment you mirror them, you force them to face themselves. It's like holding up a glass to their reflection, making them see what they truly are. Think about that one coworker who always tries to one-up you. They act like they're better, like they have all the answers, and they always have a way of making your achievements feel small. Next time they do it, don't argue. Don't justify yourself. Instead, smile and say, "Wow, you always have the most interesting way of making everything about yourself." Watch them freeze. Because you didn't fight them. You didn't get angry. You simply handed them a mirror. Now let's bring it into relationships. A man plays mind games with you, acting distant one moment and overly interested the next, making you feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster. Instead of chasing, instead of questioning, you give him exactly what he gives you. He takes 6 hours to respond to your text, you take 12. He cancels plans last minute, next time you beat him to it. No arguments, no explanations, just an equal reflection of what he puts out. Suddenly, he's the one feeling unbalanced, questioning his own actions. Because now he's the one experiencing the confusion he tried to create for you. People talk too much. They explain, they justify, they beg to be understood. But real power doesn't come from words, it comes from action. You don't need to tell them who you are. You don't need to convince them of your worth. Just show them. Let your results, your silence, your transformation speak so loudly that they have no choice but to listen. Think about the people who underestimated you, who told you that you couldn't do something. If you had wasted your time arguing with them, trying to make them see your potential, would it have changed anything? No. But when you silently rise, when you build yourself without their validation, when you achieve everything they said you couldn't, that is when they feel the weight of their mistake. Imagine this. You're working on a dream, something you believe in, but the people around you laugh. They call it unrealistic. They throw their doubts at you, expecting you to defend yourself. But instead of explaining, instead of trying to convince them, you smile and get to work. Months later, they see your progress. A year later, they see your success. And by the time they realize they were wrong, it's too late. They no longer have access to you. That's how you prove them wrong, not with words, but with undeniable results. Picture a woman who was once heartbroken, begging a man to see her worth. He ignored her, took her for granted, acted like she was just another option. Now imagine if she had spent her energy arguing with him, trying to explain why she deserved better. But instead, she walks away. She focuses on herself, on her growth, on her happiness. One day he sees her glowing, thriving, laughing like she never did with him. And suddenly he understands. Not because she told him, not because she explained, but because her life without him made the statement loud and clear. There's something powerful about a person who doesn't waste time proving themselves with words. Look at the people who are truly respected. Do they constantly talk about how great they are? No, they simply are great. Their presence, their achievements, their character do all the talking for them. Think about that one person at work who always tries to compete with you, always tries to prove they're better. They boast, they exaggerate, they try to make you feel small. But you don't engage. You don't argue. Instead, you focus on being excellent. You show up. You deliver. You succeed. And while they were busy talking, you were busy building. Soon enough, their words become empty while your results become undeniable. Actions have a weight that words never will. You can tell someone 100 times that you've changed, that you've grown, that you're different. But the moment you show them, when they see it with their own eyes, that's when they believe it. Take friendships, for example. You had a friend who betrayed you, who doubted you, who left when things got tough. If you waste time telling them how hurt you are, explaining why they were wrong, what does it do? Nothing. But when they see you thriving without them, when they see that losing them didn't break you but made you stronger, that's when they feel the impact of their mistake. Think about social media. Everyone talks about their dreams, their goals, their plans. But how many people actually do? The ones who quietly work behind the scenes, who show up day after day without announcing it, they're the ones who win. And by the time they reveal their success, it's already too late for the doubters to stop them. There are people in this world who want to see you break. They want to see you fall apart. They throw their words like knives, hoping one will cut deep enough to leave you bleeding. They betray you, hoping you'll never recover. They walk away expecting you to chase. But here's the truth. Your greatest power is in never letting them think they broke you. Because the moment they believe they've won, they will carry that victory like a trophy, telling themselves they had power over you. And you will never give them that satisfaction. Imagine this. Someone leaves you, expecting you to crumble. They think you'll sit in misery, questioning your worth, desperate for their return. But instead, you rise, you glow, you move forward so gracefully that they start to wonder if they ever mattered. They expected devastation, and what they see instead is your evolution. That is how you win. Not by proving them wrong with words, not by arguing, but by becoming so untouchable that their absence means nothing. People start to take you for granted the moment they believe they are irreplaceable in your life. The moment they think you'll always be there, no matter how they treat you, they stop valuing your presence. That's why the most powerful thing you can do is make them feel replaceable. Not through words, not through threats, but through action. The kind of action that shows them you are not afraid to walk away. The kind of action that reminds them that you are a privilege, not a convenience. Think about relationships. How many people have begged for love, pleaded for attention, and settled for crumbs? And what did that get them? Less respect, more pain, and a cycle that never ends. But the moment you show someone that their absence doesn't break you, that their silence doesn't destroy you, everything changes. Suddenly they start wondering if they miscalculated your worth. Suddenly they start realizing that you are not just an option. They were lucky to have you in the first place. Have you ever noticed how people treat a luxury car versus a rental? A rental is used, abused, and returned without a second thought. But a luxury car, it's handled with care, respected, admired. Because people know that luxury isn't easy to replace. You have to make people feel that way about you. Not through arrogance, but through self-respect. Through the way you carry yourself, through the way you set boundaries. You have to let them know, without saying a word, that you are not someone they can afford to lose. In friendships, this rule applies just as much. There are friends who only show up when they need something. Friends who take and take but never give. And if you keep letting it happen, they'll never change. But the moment you start pulling back, the moment you stop being available, suddenly they notice. They wonder why your energy isn't the same. And that's when they start to realize they were never the ones in control. You were. And you always have been. There'll be moments in life when people will betray you, deceive you, take your kindness for weakness and leave you broken. Your first instinct will be to fight back, to prove a point, to make them feel the same pain they inflicted upon you. But here's the truth most people ignore. You don't have to do anything. Life has a way of balancing itself. Karma is a silent force, an unstoppable energy that never forgets a name, never misses a debt, and never leaves a lesson unlearned. The best revenge? Let karma be their teacher. Think about the ones who hurt you. The friend who lied to your face but laughed behind your back. The lover who swore they'd never leave, only to replace you without a second thought. The boss who took advantage of your hard work and never gave you the credit. The family member who doubted you, underestimated you, made you feel small. Your instinct is to make them regret it, to show them they messed with the wrong person. But what if I told you that life already has a plan for them? What if I told you that no wrong goes unpaid? That every action sets off a ripple effect, and the energy they put out will find its way back to them. You don't have to expose them. You don't have to lower yourself to their level. The universe keeps receipts. You ever notice how the people who play games with others always end up in relationships where they get played? How the ones who gossip and spread lies always end up tangled in their own web of deception? How the ones who betray end up betrayed? It's because karma doesn't work on your schedule, but it always arrives on time. The strongest souls are not the ones who seek revenge, but the ones who rise above it. The ones who understand that life has a way of returning every action, every intention, every betrayal in ways far more powerful than any human hand could. The ones who refuse to drown in bitterness because they know that their greatest revenge is their success, their peace, their ability to move forward while their enemies remain stuck in the mess they created. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone who was blind enough to overlook it. You do not have to chase, to beg, to explain. Let people believe what they want. Let them assume they got away with what they did. Let them laugh now, because life listens, the universe watches. And karma moves in silence, calculating every debt, waiting for the perfect moment to collect. Have you ever seen a seed grow into a mighty tree? It doesn't scream. It doesn't announce itself. It simply grows, pushing through the darkness, stretching towards the light, becoming something so powerful that nothing can break it. Be that. Be the force that thrives, no matter what tried to bury you. Be the proof that no storm, no betrayal, no heartbreak was ever enough to stop you. People will regret underestimating you. They will regret taking you for granted. They will regret thinking you would always be there, always waiting, always forgiving, because one day they will look up and realize you are gone. You are beyond their reach. You are too busy living the life they thought you couldn't have. And in that moment, they will feel the weight of their actions. Not because you forced them to, but because karma made sure they did. Some lessons in life are taught through pain. Some realizations only come when it's too late. Let that be their lesson, not yours. You were never the one who lost. They lost you. They lost the opportunity to grow with you, to experience your loyalty, your kindness, your greatness. They will come to understand that losing someone like you was never freedom, it was the beginning of their downfall. And when that moment comes, when life humbles them, when they look for you in rooms they can no longer enter, do nothing, say nothing, just smile. Because the best part of karma, you never have to lift a finger. You never have to waste your energy on revenge. The universe will always do it for you. And when it does, you will already be too high, too successful, too untouchable to even care.